definitely not a team we want to lose to. If there's any team we're all right with losing to, it's not that team.
Yeah. Woohoo! We are in a snow week. Yeah. You can't get any better.
Hello, welcome to Hawks Recap. Game number 7 in the books, and the Hawks lose to Blues 5-2, 4-2 if you don't count the empty netter, 2-2 if you don't count Schwartz's hat trick. Before I dig into the game, I want to touch on the fact that Eddie Olczyk was back in the booth alongside Doc Emmerich for the first time since getting his cancer diagnosis. Great to see him in the booth. Great to hear his voice again. He will be back in the booth for the local Chicago crew tomorrow for the back end of the back-to-back here. St. Louis fans gave him a standing ovation, very classy of them to do. All in all, first star to him, for sure. Getting into the game now, a little less than 5 minutes into this first period, Tarasenko throws a shot on goal from the point. Schwartz just steals the shot right in front of Crawford. Crawford had no idea who was there and just kind of puts it around Crawford into the net to give the Blues a 1-0 lead. Nothing really Crawford could do there, just defensive lap. Schwartz was all alone, and who picks off a Tarasenko shot? Who does that? Schwartz ended up going into the boards head first later in that period. It was kind of questionable if he would return it. Didn't look good for sure, but obviously he came back. Fortunately and unfortunately, if that makes sense. I don't wish injury, I want to clarify that. But he got a hat trick, is what I'm trying to say. That's the unfortunate part. Hawks would also commit 3 tripping penalties in that first frame. Thankfully, like the rest of the games this season so far, the PK unit steps up and shuts the St. Louis power play down. And the Hawks go into the intermission with the 1-0 deficit. Definitely could have been worse. In fact, it could have been much worse because the Hawks only got 4 shots that period. About 6 minutes into the second period, the Hawks have some things going. They're getting shots. They're getting their chances at least. Kane had a couple chances. I don't know what's really going on with him. In isolated spots, he's looking like the Kane we know. But overall, it almost seems like he's ailing from something. I don't know. It's tough to tell. But 6 minutes into the second period, Jake Allen catches the Hawks on a long change and banks a pass up the ice. Jaden Schwartz gets the puck. Crawford is caught kind of in between whether to go play the puck or just hang back and stay in crease and try and block the shot. But he's caught in between and he's in no man's land. Jaden Schwartz just walks around him. Gets his second goal of the game. Blues up 2-0. The next Blues goal came about 2 minutes later when Tarasenko stripped the puck from Anisimov and then sniped a turnaround shot past Crawford's stick side. Nothing really Crawford could do there, especially when your team is turning the puck over in the slot area. Kind of was the theme of the first 2 periods here, just turnover after turnover by the Hawks in their own zone, and not only in their own zone, but like in the middle of their own zone, in the slot area. Gave the Blues a whole lot of great opportunities, and that's really asking a lot of your tender. Not only that, but turnovers in the neutral zone, sloppy passes, not winning board battles in the offensive zone, especially when the defensemen are pinching. Those led to some odd man rushes for the Blues the other way. You had outlet passes that weren't connecting. Outlet passes that, if they do connect, look to have led to a 3-on-1 or 2-on-1 opportunity in which the Hawks could have really done something with. Just not a whole lot going right for the Hawks. Also 2 more tripping penalties for the Hawks in this period. I don't know what it is with the tripping here, but it seems to kind of be the trend, and I'm not really liking it. Thankfully, the PK unit steps up and shuts the Blues power play down once again. Hawks PK unit goes 5 for 5, 100% during this game. They're a top 10 unit so far. They're doing really well. And I don't know if I'd say they're keeping them in this game, but the scoreline could have been much, much worse if the Hawks PK unit wasn't in stride. Blues up 3-0 going into the third period. Hawks have 8 shots going into the third period. Look, I'm all for trying different types of strategies and kind of seeing what works, but I think we can cross this off the list. Not really a winning strategy. Now, to be fair, the Blackhawks did throw the puck at the Blues goal area more times than that, but the Blues did a really good job of blocking shots and not letting any pucks really get to Allen. Even if the scoring chance was in close, it just was like a magnet to the sticks and legs of the Blues players. And honestly, blocking shots seems like a pretty good strategy. Now, remember when I said that losing board battles in the offensive zone, especially when your defenseman is pinching, is pretty bad and it can lead to odd man rushes the other way? Yeah, Broziak and Tarasenko have a 2-on-1 going in towards Crawford. Broziak fakes the pass to Tarasenko and snipes it himself, and the Blues are up 4-0 7 minutes into this third period. Now, besides that, the Hawks had a pretty good third period. They were controlling play. They had a lot of good sustained offensive pressure. They had 16 shots on goal this period, which was double than what they had the first 2 periods combined. They even had 2 more ring off the post. They had even more hitting Blues shin pads and skates and sticks. They had a lot of good opportunities to get back in this game. Hawks get on the board with a little less than 6 minutes left in the game. Power play opportunity. Panic tips in a shot from Keith. Makes it 4-1. A little less than 2 minutes later, a little bit of a scramble in front of net. And DeBrincat kind of hits home a rebound, kind of goes off Hartman, so he technically gets the credit for it. Hawks are down by 2 goals now. Right after the goal, Hartman kind of gets chokeslammed down by Broziak. I mean, it was a little bit of a sell job by Hartman, but still, like, what's with St. Louis players drilling Hawks players after a goal? A couple of years ago, it was Brouwer cross-checking Shaw right in the face after a goal in the playoffs, and now this. Come on, man, that's not cool. I don't ever see this with any other team. It's not really helping me reverse my distaste for St. Louis. I'll just put it that way. So it's 4-2, a little under 4 minutes left to go. Hawks pull Crawford, try to get something going, try to get this game within 1 goal, and then eventually try and tie this game before regulation ends. Doesn't really work all that well. Blues have numerous chances to pot an empty net goal. They can't quite do it accurately. Hawks also do a really good job keeping it out. But Schwartz finally decides to just end it with a little under a minute left. He pots the empty net goal. And the Blues beat the Hawks 5-2 in this first game of a back-to-back for the Hawks. It was really nice seeing Schmaltz back in the lineup tonight. He looked good, albeit a little bit rusty, but that's to be expected when you miss 5 or 6 games. I think he'll get over that pretty quickly. DeBrincat, another good game. He had a great third period, had a lot of shots and opportunities. Even had one go off the post, had a goal stolen by Hartman. Tays line looked good. Anisimov, he really needs to step up his game. Needs to step it up to the level of his contract. Kane, I don't know if something's ailing him. Like I said, he looks like Kane that we know and love at times, and then other times he just looks quite underwhelming. Ruda had another solid game, very much climbing the ranks of our defensive depth. Connor Murphy, he was a healthy scratch the past couple of games. His first game back, I thought he looked solid. Crawford, you look at his stats, not very good. However, I also don't think he had a whole lot to work with. So, I'm not blaming this game on him. In the end, this game was lost because the Hawks could not get shots on Allen. They turned the puck over a crap ton, and their power play just couldn't get working until they were already down 4 goals. Next on the docket, the Hawks come back home to Chicago to face an Edmonton Oilers team who have really been struggling so far this season, especially with high expectations. It is the back end of a back-to-back for the Hawks, which means Anton Forsberg will be starting in net. Hopefully he has as good of a game, or at least close to as good of a performance as he had against the Toronto Maple Leafs earlier this season. Hopefully the Hawks kind of pick up their play and kind of right the ship here. They kind of need it. And with that, thank you so much for watching this episode of Hawks Recap. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on the team's performance and the game down below in the comments. Also, let me know your thoughts on these videos. I'm always looking for ways to improve myself. Like, share, subscribe. But most importantly, stay safe, make good decisions, and I'll see you real soon.